allow other participants to join and settle down, and then we'll get started with the today's session. And I can imagine you all are excited to understand how you can connect with international buyers on Indian Business Portal. And I'm equally excited to share the information with you. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll get started with our discussion. However, we'll use this time for very important purpose, and that is to understand how you can get the maximum benefit from this webinar. And how can you do that? You might be having this question, right? So you must be asking that, yes, how can I get the maximum benefit from this webinar? And that is by having a better clarity in terms of what actions or what steps are required from your side to grow your business using this wonderful solution called Indian Business Portal. So for that, you may be having questions or queries. I will try my best to explain everything as clearly as possible, as detailed as possible. However, there can be a scenario that what I've explained is not clear to you, or you may have further questions, or there's something which I haven't covered which you want a answer to. So in that case, you can ask your question. And how can you ask your question? Because we are connecting on a webinar format. We are not connecting in a meeting. So you can't like unmute yourself and you can ask your question. However, down below, you'll see there's an option called Q&A. You can use that option to ask your question. So the first important suggestion that I would want to give to you before even starting the webinar, that is you should ask all your questions and queries, and that will justify the use of your time which you are spending here. The second suggestion is more psychological, but this is something which happens with everyone, and especially when we are in a public gathering. So when we are trying to ask a question, a lot of time, even if we are not in a public gathering, we are trying to ask something with someone. A lot of time we feel that what will this person think of me when I'm trying to ask this question, and that question may be very genuine and very important for us, but just because we are feeling a little shy or we are feeling self-conscious, and we avoid asking those questions. So, and that is not a very good thing to do. So that is where I would again say that technology is here for your rescue. So you don't have to reveal your identity. Down below in the Q&A option, if you click, there's an option called anonymous. So you can hide your identity. It is not even revealed to me, and still you can ask your question. So if you are getting a little cautious at what will others think or what will this presenter think if I'm asking this question, don't worry, you use that option. But what is more important is that you should get answers to your question, or get clarity in terms of what all questions, doubts, etc. are there in your mind. All right. Now, Q&A is the option that I am recommending to you that you should use to ask your question. Chat is something that we will use for communicating amongst ourselves, or if there are participants. So sometime participants start sharing information about their business, what they are doing, from where they are, what product or service they are offering. So in that case, what happens, there's a lot of exchange, or there are so many messages in the chat. So it becomes very difficult for me to just go through all those chats and then identify the questions and then provide a response to that. So that's where it is my request that if you have a question, then please add it to the Q&A so that I can review it and I can respond to you. But you are more than welcome to chat or exchange information with other wonderful participants who are joining us here today in this webinar. So you can use the chat to share information with other participants, and it is a networking opportunity at the end of the day. So you should use this opportunity. In fact, I'm sharing the suggestion. So that's where I think it becomes my responsibility also to take the initiative. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing my contact details, or I'm sharing my introduction in the chat, and you can also do that. So you have my contact details in the chat, and I've just shared it with you. So if any one of you would like to connect with me in person, or there's anything which is not very clear to you, or there were questions which you wanted a response to, but that is not clear. So in that case, you can reach out to me. You have my email ID. You can reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to assist you. And there can be a scenario that it is not just question. You are trying to do something and you are getting stuck. Although we have dedicated help desk on which you can reach out, but still, if you need my help, you can feel you're more than welcome to reach out to me. All right, so this is where we are now going to get started with today's webinar. I can see two participants have already raised their hand. Unfortunately, I can't allow you to unmute yourself. This is where this is webinar format, so I will not be able to allow you to unmute yourself and have an open discussion. However, I would recommend that you should add your question in the Q&A so that I can respond to it. So towards the end of the session, we'll have a question answer round, and that is where all your questions, all your queries, whatever you wanted to understand, whatever is not clear to you, I will give a response to it, and we'll dedicate enough time to it so that you get all your questions and queries answered. All right. So this is where let's get started. And before I do that, I can see a lot of participants have just joined. So let me welcome them as well. So good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. Today's is a very interesting webinar because this is where I am going to share with you about this wonderful opportunity which is available for exporters, that is Indian Business Portal. But more importantly, what you should do to get the maximum benefit from this opportunity. All right, so this is where, without spending any more time, I should start sharing my screen and we will proceed ahead. As I mentioned, if there is anything which is not clear to you, please don't hesitate to add it in Q&A. Don't even wait for the question answer round to get started. You can keep adding your questions in the Q&A, and this is where I think we should get started. So I am going to start sharing my screen and then we will proceed ahead. So just give me few seconds to start sharing my screen and then we'll proceed ahead with today's discussion. All right, so I hope everyone can see my screen. I've started sharing my screen. Now, before we proceed ahead with our discussion, there's one last point that I would want to share with you, and that is again related to the webinar participation. And that point is sometime in my previous webinars, there were certain members who had issue when I started sharing my screen. So that's where they were seeing the screen very small. By default on Zoom, whenever a panelist or a participant starts sharing their screen, by default, it goes into the full screen mode, right? So it will go full screen. But sometime it does not. So in that case, you see a very small screen, especially on the mobile device, or these issues happened on the mobile device. Now, so if you're holding your device like this, in that case, there is a chance that it will not go full screen, although it typically does. So in that case, how can you solve for it? So just rotate your device. So just hold it like this in a landscape mode so that it goes full screen, so that the screen that I'm sharing is bigger and you can see it in a better way and you can get the maximum benefit of this webinar. All right. So coming back to today's discussion, that is about Indian Business Portal and how can you get the maximum benefit of it and how can you connect with Indian international buyers. So that's what we are now going to get started. So what you're seeing on your screen is Indian Business Portal. I'll very quickly give you an introduction because I can imagine we have members who are not familiar with Indian Business Portal and how, what is the registration process. So we'll spend few minutes there to understand about the Indian Business Portal and more importantly the registration process. But in today's webinar, I'm not going to go through the step-by-step process. In today's webinar, we will be discussing something else, and that is around optimizing this opportunity, right? So this is an opportunity available with us. How can you get the maximum benefit out of it? That's what we will be spending more time on. So very quickly, what is Indian Business Portal? How can you access it? So Indian Business Portal is a platform created to promote Indian export. Who has created this portal? So it is jointly created by the Federation of All India Export Organization, which is a Ministry of Commerce apex export promotion body. So it's a national level export promotion body by the government of India, and Global Linker, which is a business networking and digitization enablement platform. So at one end, it allows business owners to connect and network with business owners from various countries, about 150 countries. And at the other end, it allows business owners, or it enables or empowers, whatever is the right word you feel, it empowers business owners, and especially micro and small business owners, in digitizing their business. Because we all understand digital is the way forward. But when we look at micro and small businesses, and just like close your eyes for a second and imagine the micro and small businesses that you know around, many of them may be genuinely wanting to go digital. Many of them will be genuinely desiring to digitize their business, right? But because the solutions are not available, the available solutions are very expensive, or the right agencies or professional help or knowledge is not available. So that is where they are feeling disadvantaged, and they are not able to digitize, or they are not able to grow their business digitally. They are failing to leverage or get the benefit of this digital opportunity which is out there. So that is the challenge which Global Linker solves for micro and small businesses, especially. All right, so that is a brief introduction about FIO and Global Linker and Indian Business Portal. So it is basically allowing Indian exporters like you to showcase your products on a global platform, wherein international buyers are brought in by the government's effort, and international buyers can see your product offerings, and they can connect with you, and you can participate in RFQs, etc. That is something that we'll be discussing later, but this is a platform where you are showcasing your product and services. Now, while I'm explaining about Indian Business Portal, let me clarify a few of the common doubts which, or misinterpretations that many people have. And this is where I'm not saying that they have wrong interpretations, or what they are thinking or what they are imagining. There's something wrong with that. Unfortunately, the type of solutions we are, or the type of platforms we are exposed to, they work in that manner. So you tend to develop that kind of imagination, or that kind of understanding. So, for example, if we are talking about the terms, let's say exports or online store or website, or let's take a very simple term, website. Whenever you hear this term, website, obviously the impression which builds, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is where I'm not referring to the younger generation, but my and older generation, the moment we hear this term website, the imagination or the image that gets built up in our head is, it is a technical, something requiring coding or computer science degree, etc., right? So something related to computer coding, that kind of a technical thing. That's the image. Whereas the reality is, it is so simple that even a school student can build a e-commerce website or a website very easily. The technology has evolved so much. Similarly, when it comes to these kinds of opportunities where you can go and you can showcase your products and you can generate leads and inquiry, the imagination that gets developed is, there's some platform which is charging some value and allowing us to show the products, and they are collating the leads together and then passing on to the people who have subscribed their paid packages. That is the kind of impression which gets developed. Whereas Indian Business Portal is a platform which is purely created for one purpose, and that is to promote Indian export. And that is where there is no partiality, or there's no bias. Everyone has the equal opportunity. So this is where you come, you showcase your product, and international buyers can come and they can directly connect, or they will directly connect. There's no intervention, or there is no filter layer in between. So international buyers will connect with you directly. There's no filtration, no collating of data, or nothing happening. And There are no paid packages as such. So everyone is equal. However, your performance will matter. So how quickly you're responding to the queries, how better is your product information that you have added, how frequently you're logging in and you are checking on the information, all that will matter. So your performance will certainly have an impact, but paid packages or those kind of things are not there. And this is something which gets very frequently asked. So I thought of clarifying that. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, it is a platform where you can come and you can showcase your product. Now, related to this, many people ask that, hey, it is a very noble initiative and it should certainly works, but has it started turning into some sort of business, some sort of lead? Yes, certainly it has. In fact, I can show you two examples or two places where you can go and you can satisfy your urge to understand about the benefits which are coming from this platform. One place is, if you scroll down, and this is a wonderful opportunity, and we'll be discussing about it later. So this is where all the international buyers who have come and who have expressed their desire to receive quotations, so who have submitted RFQ request for quotation on the platform, and from where they can do that in case you're getting curious. So this is where you can see there's an option called post buying requirement. They can click here and they can submit their request that this is what we are looking at, and those are displayed here. So these are one opportunities which you can see they are already there. Now, many people might be thinking that, hey, you only have 51, that means the platform is not doing very good, etc., etc., right? So all those thoughts will start coming. Now, this is where I would want to clarify that these are very small fraction of international buyers who are choosing to go this route. This is one of the options available, not the only option, right? So it is not like all of them who are coming here, they are going through this route. No, there's another route which is also available where they are directly contacting Indian exporter. How that is done, that is something which we'll be discussing a little later. But this is one opportunity which you can see here. There is already action happening on the platform. And this is where I will request everyone that you should keep an eye on this section, because this is where it keeps updating almost on a daily basis. So if there is a lead, if there is an international buyer who's looking for your products or services, then you should proactively submit that quotation. So this is one opportunity which is there. The second is testimonials which are available. How do you review those testimonials? For that, you can go to the footer. This is where you'll see there is a page called resources. I'll just quickly open that page in another tab. And this is where if you scroll down, you will see there are success stories that we have added. So there's where how Indian Business Portal has benefited Indian exporters. Those stories are also available here. You can review them and you can understand for yourself how this platform is benefiting, or actually is benefiting, the exporters like you. All right. So I think we have spent enough time understanding about Indian Business Portal, and there are certain USPs also of this platform. I would not want to take you there. That is something that we can discuss in another session, or there are enough recordings of my previous webinars where I have explained about how you can join Indian Business Portal. In fact, last week's webinar recording is available there. You can review that to understand more about the USPs of Indian Business Portal. But more importantly, because today's objective is different, wherein we are all gathered here to understand that how can you get more benefit. So this is where you have already done that part. Now, how can you get more benefit out of it? So that's what we are trying to understand in today's session. Before going there, I can imagine that many of the participants here have not gone through this part. So very, very quickly, I'll just take 2 minutes and I'll very quickly explain to them that how can you join Indian Business Portal? What is the process that they can follow? So this is where your journey starts with Indian Business Portal. Open this website on your device, preferably on a laptop. You can do it technically through your smartphone as well, but I'll not advise doing that. It is very time consuming doing that way. So do it from your laptop or your desktop. Open this website, Indian Business Portal. Once you have opened this website, then on the top itself, you'll see there's an option called Sell on Indian Business Portal. Click on this option and it will open this page. On this page, you will certainly be tempted to click on these button, create your catalog now and proceed ahead. But I would advise that don't do that, or before you do that, just please scroll down. And down below here, you'll see there is this frequently asked questions section. And the question number 1 is, how do I link my business to Indian Business Portal, just click on it. It will expand. And you'll see there is a link to a tutorial video, which you can see here. It is also highlighted in blue color for your reference. Just click on it. A YouTube video will open up. This is the video. In case you're wondering why ads are displaying here, this is not a monetized account, but YouTube has to earn their living. So even on non-monetized account, they show the ad. So, but it will not appear in between. Before start of the video, you'll see that. So coming back to what I was explaining. So we went to Indian Business Portal. We clicked on register as Indian exporters. This page opened up there where I requested you that you should scroll down, and that's where you'll see there's a section called frequently asked questions, and you should click on tutorial video, which will open this section. On this video, you can have this video open alongside, or if you have time is not a concern, then you should review this video. It is about 20 odd minute video. You can review this video. It will help you understand the entire process. In fact, you will also need to know what all information may be required from your end, so you can collect all that information and then get ready. Otherwise, you can just keep this video open alongside, and then you can proceed ahead with the process. It is a detailed step-by-step process, right? You can understand the entire process through this video. So just review this video. It will guide you through the entire step-by-step process. All right. So that is, sorry. That is about the store creation journey. You have to create an online store, and then that online store will get linked or mapped with Indian Business Portal. Now, many participants in the audience may not be very comfortable with English, and they may need assistance in Hindi. So a Hindi tutorial video is also available. How do you access that? So for that, you have to open the description. This is where the description is there. And if you open the description, that's where you'll see the link to the Hindi video. So if you're not very comfortable with the English, you can review the Hindi video. Same content is available in Hindi language as well. So same detailed information is available in Hindi as well. All right, there is one more video, which is this compliance checklist video. I will share links of both or all the three videos. Don't worry on that. And this is also a very, very important video. This is something that you can review later once you are gone through the entire journey. You have created your online store. You have done everything. There's something which you should look at towards the end. How this video helps, it helps you understand that or understand, sorry. It helps you understand what are the common mistakes which can prevent your business from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. What are those mistakes and how can you fix them? That is what is explained in this video. Please review this video. It is a sincere request to you, especially if you haven't gone through this journey. Review this video. It will help you understand what are the mistakes, and how you can fix those mistakes is also explained in this video. So it's a very important, useful video. Review it once and it will save you a lot of time. Because a lot of time, what we experience is exporters like you put in a lot of effort and create their digital catalog. But because of these small mistakes, their business is not listed, and then we tell them that these are the mistakes, and then they rectify those mistakes, and then again it goes for review. So unnecessarily week 10 days gets lost in all this activity. So if you want to avoid all that inconvenience, review this video and it will help you avoiding mistakes which can prevent you from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. All right, so this is the process. I will share the links of all the three videos, both languages shortly once I stop this screen share, because I don't have access to the chat right away. So I'll share that when I stop the screen share, but don't worry about the links in case you're feeling that from where I will get the links. I'll share the links, don't worry on that. All right, so let's go back to Indian Business Portal, and now we will start our discussion on how you can optimize this opportunity. And this is where I would want to firstly clarify with you what are the islands of opportunity. So if you're looking at this entire thing, there's like an ecosystem, right? And there are basically different components which are out there. Now, components and those things like sound very technical, to I try to avoid them. But in an ecosystem, there are different islands, we can say. So there are different islands of opportunities which are there, and which you should optimize so that you get the maximum benefit. What are those islands of opportunities? So one is Indian Business Portal, which will come at later. Second is, let me just open one of the product. Let me just open this one only. And I will open their online store. And the next one is here. So we'll go in an ascending order. So the first island of opportunity is your profile. Now, in case you're wondering, what is this? How did automatically we were on Indian Business Portal? How did we come here? So when you go through this journey, which I was explaining to you with the help of this video, so when you go through this journey, you create an online store as well as your profile on FIO Global Linker. So the first island of opportunity which lies for you, where you can also connect with international buyers, and this is a very powerful opportunity which is available, is your FIO Global Linker profile, right? What is this profile and how it can help? Let's spend a few minutes here and let's understand it in greater detail. So this is your profile on FIO Global Linker. You'll have a similar profile. This is a demonstration account, but you'll have a similar profile. Now, on this profile, what are the activities that you can do to optimize your opportunity or to connect with international buyers in more straightforward words? So you can search for international buyers. There are businesses from 150 countries which are part of the solution. So you can search for them or you can connect with them. So you can add connections and you can connect with them, similar to how we do social networking on Facebook or professional networking on LinkedIn. Similar to that, you can do business networking. The difference is this is where you are networking with a business owner. So there are no professionals or social networking happening here. This is where hardcore business networking, businessman to businessman networking is happening on this platform. All right. So there are two opportunities available there which you can use. But before you go there, I would want to share a suggestion because, like, you can very well. I don't need to explain like how do you search or how do you use this networking feature. We are all educated enough and we are all familiar with these kinds of things. These are like common features which anyone can use, but I'll still show you. Don't worry on that. But before you go there, it is important that you should ensure that you have done certain things, because if your profile is incomplete and you reach out to an international buyer or international business from some different country that I sell these products, and they will obviously check your profile and your profile is incomplete, obviously they will not feel very good about you, right? So they come to your profile and it's incomplete and it does not have information, so they'll not think very nice of you. They'll think this does not look like a serious person, this does not look like a genuine business professional, right? So that is where my personal suggestion or request, whatever you would want to understand, is that before you start doing these activities of reaching out to international buyers or businesses from various countries, you should update your profile. How can you do that? So here, and you open your account, there are like two places from where you can go there. One is on the top, you'll see your name initials are there. You click on that, and then you'll see this edit icon, which looks like a pencil. You can click on that and you can start editing. Second is you can come here. This is where you'll business name is displayed. You can click on it, and it will also take you to your profile edit interface. This is the profile edit interface, and this is where your name is displayed. And now this is where, unlike this business, because it is a dummy account, so that's where deliberately I've added the business name as the founder name. This should be your name. And I have personally seen a lot of places where exporters have added the business name at both the places. You should not do that. This is where you should add your name if possible, unless you have any privacy or other concerns, you should add your visuals as well. It gives more confidence to the other person who's reviewing your profile. So add your name, add your designation, add your visuals, add a brief detail, click on edit, and this is where you can add a brief about what role you are playing in your organization. And then you should also update your business profile. Again, click on edit, and all these fields can be added, like a banner, like a logo, and your location. And then if you are scrolling down below, this is where you can don't worry about the products. So the products which are there on your online store, they will all start appearing here. Then you can add company tagline, you can add company description, and then when which year you started your business, year of incorporation, company size, turnover, etc. So all that information can be added. Now moving down below, that is where you'll see option to add your license in awards, etc. So I can imagine all of you will be having IEC at least. You should add that, and if you have other licenses, you should add those. If there are any awards or recognitions that you have received, you should add those. So that will complete your profile. Now, once your profile is completed, that is where you can now confidently start approaching other businesses. How can you do that? So there are multiple places or multiple smaller islands of opportunities which are available for you. So let's understand all of them. The first and a very easy thing which you can do is you can just come here and you can start searching. So for example, footwear. Common example. So I've searched for footwear, and this is where I can see there are 800 plus companies. And then this is where we can go and we can filter by location as well. So if you're looking for a different country, you can do that. Now you might be wondering why other countries are not displayed here. So the most populous places are displayed here in the dropdown. It does not mean mean that the sellers from other countries are not there. You can put the location here and you can start searching, right? So this is the filter method which is available. So you should search for other businesses which you have an interest on, and then you should connect with them. So this is where you have a message option. You can send them a message that, hey, I'm a footwear manufacturer based out of Agra and I make these kind of products. Would you like to be you be interested to connect with me? You can review my profile to understand more about my business. So that kind of short, crisp message introducing yourself and asking them to for a connection is something that you can start sending from here. So this is one smaller island of opportunity that I want you to optimize. The second island of opportunity and a similar one is in the connections. So if you go to connections, which is this icon, which you can see it is adjoining home, and then you click on add connections, it will take you to this interface. Again, in the similar fashion, this is where you have more filters, and don't forget to remove the country filter, which is selected by default. You can search by, again, then or you can search by industry and then which country and what they are looking for, and it will show you the business owners, and then you can connect with them. So you can connect with them from the both the places, but this is where you can straight away do the connections. And the other place where I showed you, sorry, we have to go to companies, and this is where you can see the profile. So for example, if we are looking at this business from Abhijit Footwear. So this is where we are reviewing their profile. This is their profile, which we are looking at, right? So that's the difference from the search and here. This is where you are directly doing the connection. But before you do that, update your profile. Otherwise, obviously, you will not be getting the maximum benefit from your effort. So those are the two smaller islands of opportunity. There's third island also. What is that? The third island is groups. So you can go to groups, and that is where you can see there are interest-based groups. My internet is a little slow today, so that is why it is taking long to load. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. It is loaded. Wonderful. So this is where you can see there are different groups which are there, and there are groups for specific industries or specific services, and that's where you can join those groups and you can share with the other participants of those groups about your product or services that you're offering. And in case there are other participants who may be of interest, so you can go to members and you can see individual members as well. So I'll just show you. Again, bear with me, my internet is a little slow, so it takes. Yeah. So here again, you can see the various members from a particular group, and you can filter them out and you can understand which are more relevant to you or which can be a good prospect for you. So you can use this activity and you can build connections and take business discussions forward with these businesses. So that's the third island of opportunities. The discussion or the list does not end there. There are now, so this is where we are in a direct approach mode. This is where we are ourselves actively reaching out or approaching, identifying and approaching businesses which may be relevant for us. There is an indirect approach, or there are islands of indirect approach opportunities which are also there. What are those islands? The first one is straight in front of us on the screen. So whenever you log into your account, this is what you'll see. Again, I think I'll have to reload. The page could not load properly. So that is this post which you are seeing on the screen. Here you can share information about your business, your product offering, and if it loads up, you will see there are posts which are already being done by business owners like you who are explaining or sharing with the other business owners from 150 countries which are part of the platform about what products or services they are offering. So this is where you are telling the audience that this is what I am offering. If you're interested, please connect with me. So that is something that you should look at. Now, here you'll see there are business opportunities as well. So this is where other business owners have shared information about what they are offering. Now, this is also an area or a place where you should actively look at, because many times business owners also post their buying requirements. So this where not only selling requirements or selling related posts are there. Obviously, the volume of selling related posts is higher, but also buying related posts are there where some one is looking to buy some product and it may be of interest to you. So just come here and spend few minutes so that you can review what all posts are there, and you can filter them as all posts or business opportunities. Company post is your company's intranet, so you can ignore that. But you can look at business opportunities and you can just review them. That will help you understand more about what type of posts are there. And if there is a buying requirement, you can also respond back to them. So that is another island of opportunity which lies to you. The next one is the knowledge, and there you have articles. Now, this is where you'll see there are various articles. Some of them are contributed by SMEs like you, business owners like you, or some are contributed by subject matter experts or by our content team, right? So obviously you are from a specific trade and you must be having specialized knowledge. So if there is something that you would want to contribute to the community and also share your knowledge, this is another opportunity which lies in front of you. So you can write an article. It will be reviewed by our content team, and if everything is okay, it will be posted here and present in front of all the 450,000 plus businesses from 150 countries. So that is another island of opportunity which is available, which you should consider utilizing. All right. So this is about your profile on FIO Global Inc. We have understood about this island of opportunity. Now we will switch our screen and we'll go to the online store, and I will use this the online store which is linked with this particular demonstration account. So I'll just open it in one more time and I'll just open the seller panel, and we will now discuss about the second island of opportunity, and we are going in a ascending order, so from least to more important and the most important. All right, but like all these areas or islands which I'm saying, they are equally important, and if you are leveraging any one of them, you will certainly be benefiting from them. Now comes the next island of opportunity that we have, that is the online store. Now online store is extremely important, not only just from your business's perspective but also from Indian business portal, because whatever you are doing here will be reflected here, right? So you make a change here, gets reflected here, right? So if you want to maximize your visibility here, it will be done on your online store. And by the way, again, it is a demonstration store which you are seeing on your screen. Now here again, we'll go through each sub island or small island of opportunity which lies here, which you should work on to maximize your benefit from this platform as well as from Indian business portal. All right. So let's begin our discussion. So this is the seller panel. I'll just quickly take you through each of the element where you should work on to optimize this opportunity. The most important element is the content or the information which is there on your website, and it is broadly of two types. One is your product related information, and second is your business related information, which is also called uh, content or textual content. So we'll discuss about that a little later, but firstly about the product content. Now when it comes to product content, and I can imagine that you might be getting a little confused, right? So this is where we were discussing about like connecting with business owners, and this is where this is entirely different track on which we are now here. Now, what we are trying to achieve is you have your online store, which means you have a presence on the World Wide Web, right? I hope everyone is clear on that. And I think everyone agrees that the moment you have an online store, whether it is on your domain or Blinker.store domain, it does not make a difference, but you have a presence on the World Wide Web. You have your own presence on the internet, right? Now, your responsibility as a business owner lies in making this presence as significant as possible. So I'm not saying you should create a million pages on this page, but improving the discoverability is what I am referring to. So you are on the World Wide Web, you are discoverable. The moment you are on the World Wide Web, you are discoverable. People, organizations can discover you, but how discoverable you are, that is the question mark, and that is what we are trying to improve on, right? Our discoverability question mark or the discoverability level is like down below, and we are trying to increase it. And how do you increase it? That is what I'm trying to show you, so that you're not only dependent on Indian business portal, but even generally, if someone goes to Google and that's where they start searching, that's where your business should show up. How can you make that happen? All right. So for that, the most important piece of content or most important content which is there, which can have a very significant impact, is your product content. And that is where you should work on. So what are the areas where you should work on? So I'll just edit one of the existing product. So the first is obviously the title of the product where you should work on, and it should be optimized. How do you optimize these product titles? So that is where some time back I did a webinar wherein I explained how you can use AI tools to create all this information. In fact, in one of the session we created an entire online store using AI tools. In one session I'll share the recording of that webinar, or if you want to readily access that, just go to YouTube, search for our channel Global Inker, and that's where you'll find the recording of my previous webinar. But because we do so many webinars, you might get confused. So don't worry, I'll share the link of that webinar as well. So we already have provided information. You can review the recording and you can understand how you can use AI tools. So in case you're getting worried or you're getting stressed, like this is technical and I don't have any technical knowledge, I don't understand SEO, how will I be able to do that? You don't have worry. AI tools knows SEO and it will help you out. How you can use AI tool is something which you may not be clear to you. That is something which I've explained to you in that webinar. So you can use that information and update the product information, including the product title, product description, and the meta information which is here. So update all this. That will improve the searchability, especially on the internet, on search platforms like Google. In addition to that, for images, we have, the images are available here because I had added them manually. So this is where we have alt image, and this is where you can input the description of the image. So alt image is basically a description of the image, and it is used for two purposes. One is obviously by the search engines for indexing this images or making a sense of these images. Second is when a visually impaired person is looking at the website, the device that they are using describes the images. So if you haven't added a description of the image, you'll not be able to use that. So this is where again you don't have to write a paragraph or write a lot of text about the image. Just describe that image. So it is like you're writing a tweet, and within that tweet you are describing the image. So it's simply a description of the image. So that is another important thing that you should work on. So basic details and image alt text. You can update it here, or you can update it here also if you have added images for each of the variants. This is where also we have the alt image section. So this is something which will help you get better discoverability, or it will gradually push or improve your searchability or discoverability on the platform. All right, so that is something that you have to do from your product construct. Now coming to the content part, go to my store, go to pages, and that is where you'll see the various pages are there. Now you can create a content page in case you haven't created it. Many businesses I see don't create it. So please do create a paint page about your business as well, because understand, from a international buyer's perspective, they are sitting hundreds of miles or thousands of kilometers away. And from their perspective, they have to be absolutely confident that you are a real business, you are a genuine business. And how will they become more confident? If you're providing them more information about who you are and what you do. Now, you have already provided them wonderful information about the products that you're offering, wonderful products you have, but who you are, because some fraudster can also create a very rosy information in today's day and age. It is not impossible for any fraudster to create very nice looking website, right? They can do that. So that is where now you have to present yourself as a genuine business, and for that all this information is important. So at least have a about us page. I'm not saying you should have like 10, 12 pages. At least one page is something that you should focus on. The more is the better, but one is something which you can start from. So create a content page. It is very simple. Just give it a title, add the text. Again, you have AI tools these days to create that text. But whenever you're creating content using AI tools, always remember to check for content getting flagged for AI created content. There are many websites available like detectable.ai. You can use those websites and you can understand whether the content which you have created using AI tools, whether it is getting flagged for AI created content or not. If it is not getting flagged, wonderful. Good day. I mean, your luck. But if it is getting flagged, in that case, there are other platforms available like Quellbot, etc., which you can use to re-paraphrase the content and then again check whether it is getting caught. And if it does not get caught, that's where you can use the content. All right. So technology, what I'm trying to say, technology is available. Just learn how to use that technology and then create that content, input it here so that you can present yourself as a genuine business. Now, one more thing which I would want to stress on, and this is related to the content, and that is where we'll go to store settings and store details. And that's where you'll see there's a section called about your export. And I can imagine if you have already created an online store for showcasing your products on Indian Business Portal, you must have already done that. But here, other than all this information which you are updating, which is essential and it will have a significant impact on how international buyers are perceiving you, especially on Indian Business Portal, there's a section or there's a feature called license and certificate. And this is where I would encourage or I would request you all that you should add your licenses, and at least IC is something which you will all have. So start with it, add your IC, and if you have more certificates, add all of them so that when on Indian Business Portal, someone is looking at your profile, they can see that it is a genuine business. They feel more confident that it is a genuine business. All right. And your return or the benefit of the effort is greater, right? You put in all the effort in creating wonderful product information. You have a very presentable online store. You have created content pages as well. But if you miss out on that part where you are trying to solve that credibility challenge, or like I'm just like trying to explain to you what is your objective or what you should be trying to do. So on the internet, the challenge can be divided, or the problem can be divided in two segments. The first segment is the discoverability segment, and discoverability segment is something which can be solved. So you can showcase product on Indian Business Portal, and that solves your discoverability challenge to a certain extent. Or you can start running Google ads, or you can start advertising on social networks, etc. Or if you start running email campaigns. So there are many ways in which you can solve the discoverability challenge, right? The second segment is the credibility segment, because you're solving the discoverability challenge and people are coming to your website. But if you're not perceiving of, they are not seeing you as a genuine business, they are not seeing you as a trustworthy organization, you will not get benefit from your results here. So your return on investment will be lower. So that is where it is equally important that you are representing yourself as a credible and genuine business. Now, this is one of the ways in which you can solve that. Now, I was showing you the content pages. That is where you can add videos about the production which is happening in your factory, or how the products that you're dealing in, those are made, or if it is agri product, how it is cultivated, and if there's a social impact that you're making, you can add those videos as well. So the point which I'm trying to convey to you is that try to present yourself not only as a wonderful business but also as a real world genuine business, and try to have as much information. Link your social platforms. So if you have an Instagram page or a Facebook page, link those pages. And again, those should not be dead pages, like you created the page and just created one post and that is the end of it. Keep them active, keep posting them, share keep sharing information about various products that you may have. Now, many people argue with me that, hey, we are in hardcore B2B product and you are asking us to create social profile. What does sense that make? We will be simply putting an effort. We make like industrial machinery. We don't have an audience on Instagram. Why should we have a Instagram page? So agree to that point that you may not have audience. You may, because even the people who are buying uh, machineries for their factories, they are also on the Instagram. So it is not like they are aliens and they live on some other planet. They are also human beings and they also use the same platform. So they are there, but they may not be looking for that kind of content. But more importantly, there is another angle to it. The other angle is you can link your, so whenever you're doing a post, you can link or provide a link to your website, and that way is where it will help you generate backlinks which will improve your search engine ranking or discoverability. It will improve onto that. So that is where I can imagine we are all over the place in terms of discussion, but I hope you're able to understand the points which I'm trying to make to you, that this is something that I feel, or I have seen personally, a lot of business owners like you put in an effort, and they genuinely put in an effort to create that. But there are areas, and this is again because you are not looking at it from a different angle, or you're not looking at it from that perspective. And that is where you are not able to understand. And that's why I'm trying to bring to your notice that this is also equally important. Put in an effort onto that so that you get the maximum benefit from all this effort that you are putting in here. Even if you're not spending your money, your time is also very valuable, and it is the most expensive thing in the world. So again, you should get the maximum benefit, and that is where focus on these things so that your discoverability is improved. All right, so that is something. Now coming to the products section very quickly, because I just remembered there is something which I forgot, so I'm taking you back to the product section. And that is again, I'm not showing you anything technical, but this is where you'll see that we have two description sections available here. One is this one and one is this one. Now, mostly the top one is utilized. In fact, in the example also, you can see I've utilized only the top one, but this is a demonstration store. It is not a live one. But here, this bottom section, so even if you don't have information about anything which you would want to share here, so if you have just information which can fill into the top section only, the summary description. This is where you can add information on how a international buyer will be doing business with you. So you can connect with us if you're looking for samples. This is the email ID on which you can reach out to us. And once you receive the request within these days, we can ship you a sample and how the business will happen. So those kind of details which can help that person make up their mind that, okay, this is a business who has already thought through all that. So those kind of things which are relevant to your business, or those kind of details which are important for your business, you should try to incorporate them in the product information. Don't just create the information using AI tools. Also use your own intellect and your understanding of the business, and then create that information so that when an international buyer is reviewing this information, they'll be able to understand it in a better way, and they can make up their mind. They're almost convinced looking at this information that this is the business whom I should connect with, right? So that is something which I missed out earlier when I was explaining to you. So this is something that you should do. Now, so far, what we have discussed is all about adding or updating content. You can create content pages, or you can improve the content which is there on for your products. In addition to that, you should add meta information all across your website, whether it is homepage, category pages, etc. Now, the third thing which I'm requesting you to do with your online store is with respect to the linkages with the various tracking websites such as Google Analytics, Tag Manager, and there's one more website from Microsoft. It is called Microsoft Clarity. It is very easy to link. It gets linked with your Google Tag Manager account, and then you are able to see how users are going through your website, right? So it is like a camera that you have put onto your website. So how people are coming, how where they are clicking, so you will get a better understanding on how the flow of the user, or how users are going through that website. So that helps you understand like what are the gaps, on which pages they are going, and where they are reviewing, where they are spending time, if the page is open properly, how the information is appearing on their device. All that is visible to you using that tool. So there are 3 or 4 essential platforms that I'm recommending to you. The first one is Google Analytics, which is basically a tool that helps you understand how many people came to your website, from where did they came, which page they saw. So you can do the funnel visualization with that, a very powerful tool which is available. Again, entirely free tool. So Google Analytics, the first one. Google Tag Manager is something which, like, it does not provide you anything, but it allows you to link all these platforms like Google, like Microsoft Clarity, or in future, if you will be running Google Ads, then that can be linked very easily. So it's a very useful integration, and it hardly takes a minute. So Google Tag Manager is the second one. The third one is Google Search Console. Search Console is used to optimize your search engine ranking, and that is where you should link it. Again, linking it is very easy. Within matter of minutes, you'll be able to do that. So that is the third one. And the fourth one is Microsoft Clarity. So all those platforms you should link with your online store, because this is, without them, you're like shooting in the dark. You don't know where it goes, uh, have you hit the target or not. So you have absolutely no clarity. It's like you're driving blindfolded, that kind of scenario. So integrate these platforms so that you have a better clarity. You can see how much traffic is coming, what should you do to improve the traffic, from where they are coming. So there can be a scenario, right? There's a lot of traffic coming, but they are coming from the wrong place. People don't buy your products there. Again, you'll not get the correct ROI. And try to understand how to use. I'm not saying become an expert in these tools, but at least the basics. And it is not very complicated, right? So there are like a lot of tools. Even Google has their own entire courses available on YouTube. You can watch those video and spend, if half an hour, 45 minutes, you'll be able to understand a lot about these tools. So again, it is important because you're starting on this journey wherein you want to grow your business. The objective is to grow the business digitally. But if you don't understand how to track yourself, you have to, it is not only like you're making a progress, but if you're not making the progress in the right direction, it is of no good, right? So you also need to understand how to measure yourself where you are going. And that is where how these tools are used, and they're very, very easy to understand how to use them, understand or learn to use them, so that you know where you're heading. So that is the second island of opportunity. The third one is Indian Business Portal. How do you optimize benefit here? So we'll start off with your business listing. So what you should do is, if I can navigate, so similarly, you will also have your own profile here. Go to your profile, see how the information is displayed. Your logo is displayed, all this information about us, how it is displayed, if the information is appearing okay. Check the product catalog if all the products are appearing. So ensure that your profile is perfectly okay. If you have added license certificates, all those are appearing here. Ensure that all that information is properly displayed. All right. Once you have done this, then you can now go to the category. So, for example, you are someone who manufactures ethnic wear. So, you can go to ethnic wear and see where your products are getting displayed. What is the place? Now, what should you do to improve the ranking? Now, these keep on switching or shuffling over a period of time randomly, but where your products are appearing. So you should ensure that this is where what you're trying to ensure is that your products are appearing in the right category. So if international buyer is coming here and they are going through the navigation there, your products are displaying. So that is the second task that you should do. The third task is for the search. Now, there are three types of searches which are there. One is product search, second is seller search, and the third is the HS code related search. So the product search is the most important because most of the people will be searching by the product name, and then comes the HS code search. The people searching by your business name is the chances are low. So that is where you can keep it as the third thing, but where you should focus on is the product and HS code. So they can search by product, international buyers, or they can search by HS code. So you should ensure that when people are searching by products or HS code, your products are getting displayed. And if they are not on the first page or they are not on the top, you should work on the content, because all this searches work on the content. So improve on the content so that the ranking gets improved here as well. The third task is this section. This is where you can keep reviewing this section. If there is anything which is of relevance to you, you can submit your quotation. Now, very soon, these leads will also start reflecting on your seller panel. So this is the control panel. Somewhere here down below orders, you'll have a section called IBP RFQs or IBP leads. So all these will start reflecting there. So you don't even have to come here from your seller panel itself. You can review them and you can submit your requisition as well. So that is something that will be coming soon, or getting deployed very soon. So that is another thing that you should keep your eye on. All right. So this will be all. We have overshot our time limit, but this is what I wanted to convey with you. I will stop sharing my screen and we will quickly break into the question answer round. So I can see already few of the members have added their question. First question, Mitesh Patel. Welcome, Mr. Mitesh. I think he was introducing himself. Next question is from Mr. Sandeep Rayar about the footfall. These are figures which we'll not be able to share with you, Mr. Nair. Now, the third question which I can see from Mr. Nair is about the queries or the leads or international buyers submitting RFQs. So that is available on the homepage of Indian Business Portal. Next question, Mr. Sandeep, again from Mr. Sandeep Nair. Can we have email alerts? So when the process which I was referring to you, wherein the leads will be displayed on the seller panel, when that process gets deployed, yes, you will get an email alert as well. And in addition to that, whenever a new lead is posted, our team is sharing a email alert to all the participants of Indian Business Portal. So it is still happening, and in future it will be automated. So at the moment it is a manual email alert which is sent. In future it will be an automated. Next question from Mr. Akash. Does this portal check genuineness of the buyers? Very interesting question. So this where there is basic contact detail verification which is done, but we always advise or we always request our participants or exporters which are part of Indian Business Portal that you should do your due diligence before getting into any international trade or any transaction. You should do your due diligence. We are not certifying or verifying or saying that this is a genuine buyer. Do your due diligence yourself. Next question again from Mr. Sandeep Nair. So I'm not reading out your question, but I'm sharing response. So you have two questions here. One is, can you create your website? Yes, certainly you can do that. Can you do the domain registration? So you cannot do the domain registration. Yes, we have provided a link on the seller panel from where you can do that. I'll just very quickly show you. It is a little technical, so I can imagine that you'll not. Sorry, I accidentally closed the screen share. Let me do that once again. I was trying to hide that so that I can navigate between the tabs. So responding to Mr. Nair's question that about the domain registration. So for that, you can go to store settings, and this is where you'll see there's a section called custom domain. Click on that. And this is where if you already have a domain, you can submit it here. If you want to purchase the domain, you can purchase it from here. You'll also need an SSL. For that, we have also provided a link for you to purchase the SSL from here. All right. So I hope I've answered that question. Next question from Gayatri. Yes. And again, I'm not reading the question, I'm just responding. So, Gayatri, this platform is for all Indian exporters. Now, irrespective whether you are a manufacturer or you're a merchant exporter, you're more than welcome to join the platform. Next question is again from Mr. Sandeep Nair. Mr. Nair, I have already answered that question. You have to do your due diligence. Government is not guaranteeing that about the genuinity of the buyers. Next question again from Mr. Nair. So for a merchant exporter, you can create one online store. You don't have to create multiple profiles or multiple online store. Same online store, you can represent multiple categories in that. Next question also from Mr. Nair. So, Mr. Nair, this is where you don't have to show certificates which are not owned by you, but being a exporter, you must be having an IC certificate, or if there is any other registration which you have done, or any other certificate which you have in your organization's name, you can show that. Now, product-related certificates will definitely be in the name of the manufacturer. So those are something which you can display. Or you can write in the description these certifications are available, and when you are getting into the business transaction, that is where you can show them that these certificates are also available which are related to the products. Next question is from anonymous attendee. So all the inquiries, if you want to see, so that is a view all button. You can click on that and you can see all the inquiries which are posted. So next question is from Gayatri S. And there are multiple parts to that question. So for the first part of the question are what are the four platforms? So I should write it here also in the chat. So it is Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, Google This is something I've added in the chat. These are the four platforms that you should integrate. Now, the second part of your question is how the integration will happen. So the online store that you're creating, that will get integrated. So the traffic which is coming to your online store, because understand, traffic can come from Indian business portal. So it is not like the people or international buyers who are seeing your profile, they will just be clicking the inquiry button from Indian business portal. They may click on visit store. There is a visit store button if you were looking at the screen when I was showing the profile of one of the merchant that is linked with Indian business portal. So they can click on visit store and they can just come to your online store and they can send you an inquiry from there as well, right? So you have to track and that so your online store is a place where the action is happening, and that is where you have to track like what is the source of the traffic which is coming, from where it is coming, and if you're doing a marketing effort, then how much is the impact, how much traffic it is resulting in, from where it is coming, what is the bounce rate. So those kind of finer details which are there, those will be available with you, because with this initiative, I've personally seen that a lot of businesses put in an effort, they put in their hard-earned money as well. But then they come back and they say that we have tried it, haven't resulted in anything for us. So I asked them, right, how much traffic is coming to your website? Like, they don't know from where it was coming. Nothing. What is the bounce rate? Nothing. Right. So unless you know that like you're putting in an effort and how much of an impact that effort is making, you'll not be able to make that decision, right? So you're like walking in a direction, but whether that direction will lead you to that destination is something that these tools help you do that. And again, majority of the action is happening on your online store, and that is the focus that should be there. So in terms of optimization, all that will happen on that platform. Can we get the link for Design Insight using AI tools? Yes, certainly I'll do that. In fact, I have the 3 video links handy, so I'll post those and then I will take that out from our YouTube channel. So I'll just need few seconds to do that. Let me just open our YouTube channel and quickly take out the link, and I will share that with you. So just give me few moments to do that. I am also sharing the link of our YouTube channel. I'll request everyone, you can consider subscribing to our channel. I'm not trying to attract subscribers, but just because we keep on adding so much tutorial or educational content here, you may find it useful. So I've also shared the link of our YouTube channel. Now coming to that specific webinar. So let me just quickly take out the link. Sorry, I'm just pasting the link. The title of the webinar is How to Use AI Tools to Create Digital Catalog for Export. So this is the webinar. So in the chat, I've added the link. Next question is from BS Tamil. Can we promote our business globally? Certainly, yes, you can. That is, yes, there are already lot of buyers from international, from abroad that are on the platform. Uh, Next question from Mr. Mohit wants to understand, is it backed by government? Yes, it is an initiative by FIO, which is Federation of All India Export Organization, which is a apex export promotion body by the government of India. I mean, you can read online about that if you want to reconfirm. Next question is by Lincoln Trade International. Genuinity of buyer, this is where you have to do it yourself. Firstly, there are agencies available which provide this kind of due diligence services. You can use their services to understand about the genuinity. Uh, how can we upload products onto the portal? So this is where this is from Shella, the question. So Shella, I have few minutes ago, I've added links in the chat of three tutorial video. I'll just do that once again for your reference. So this is where you'll find the step-by-step processes. Review the video and you'll understand the so two videos on the top. One is in English, one is in Hindi. Then review those videos and you'll understand the product upload process. Next question from Gayatri is any other suggestions? So there's a long list of suggestions, but firstly, what I would recommend is complete these parts, and then once we have a sizable number of exporters who have completed their online store and are there in a stage, so we'll have the next round of webinars wherein we'll share how you can move to the next level. Next question from Mr. Faz. So as a merchant exporter, you can join the platform. There are many merchant exporters who are already there on the platform. Next question from anonymous attendee. This is about the registration. So this is something very specific, and I don't happen to be an expert on that. So this is where I am requesting that for this question, I am just chatting with you an email ID. You drop an email onto this email ID, and one of the government officials will guide you. Next question from Manish Kumar. The link will be shared with everyone. You wanted to have the link. Next question from Shibhi Exports. This is about a issue that they're facing in terms of changing the currency. So I'll very quickly share my screen. And this will hardly take a few seconds. So I'll quickly show you from where you can fix this issue. So I'm going to start sharing my screen once again, and let me just hide this. So this is the seller panel. I will just start from the home section as if you have just opened the seller panel. And to change the default currency, for that you have to go to store settings, store details, and here you'll see the currency. This is where you have the default currency. You can change that, but when you're trying to do that, it will show you an error. So there are a few things that you have to do. One is you have to unpublish your store, which you can do from here, and then you have to go to payment. And if there is a payment method which is active, just deactivate that and then go back to this section. Here again, you have to again do that process and you will be able to change the currency. So fairly simple fix, but it will solve your problem. So I'll stop sharing here. But still, if the problem does not get solved, you can reach out to me. I've already shared my email ID in the chat. I'll do that once again. Just drop me an email and I'll have one of my colleagues connect with you and we'll guide you or we'll assist you in solving this problem. Uh, Next question from Yagnesh Patel. So, Yagnesh ji, we can help you in creating your online store. His question is, can we help him in creating his online store? Yes, certainly we can do that. We have a team that helps our members in creating the online store. It's a paid service and also avail of that service. So you can do that. But his your second question now is about digital marketing. So digital marketing is something that we ourselves are not providing as a service, but we can connect you with good agencies which can provide you this service. So if any one of you is interested in availing our service in setting up your online store, I am sharing a link where you can go and you can submit your request, and one of our onboarding specialists will connect with you, and they will guide you in terms of what all will be the commercials, etc. Next question is from Mr. Anil Kumar. So Anil ji, I've just shared the link. If in the chat, if you look how to use AI tools for export. In fact, I'll also chat it to you uh, on the personal chat. So I've just chatted to you. Next question from Mr. Amit Kumar. Is this supported? So this is jointly created by PO, which is a government entity, and Global Inker. So it's a public-private partnership. Next question from Mr. Amit Kumar again. Advanced payment facility for buyers. So the commercial discussion is between you and the buyer. So it is the terms that both of you are agreeing on. We are just creating a ecosystem where you can meet with international buyers. Now, what are the payment terms? How that transaction is happening? That is something you are directly handling it with the client. The next question is from Mr. Rajesh, wants to understand if there is any registration fee. At the moment, there is no registration fee. So this is where I would encourage everyone, you should use this opportunity and register on Indian Business Portal as soon as possible. Next question, anonymous attendee. This is also something I have clarified earlier. So if you are not a manufacturer yourself, you can all join as a merchant exporter. Next question is from Aisha. Wants to understand if we already have a website, do we have to create it once again and link it to Indian Business Portal? Yes, you will have to. So it is not like we are unnecessarily forcing everyone to create an online store. There are two reasons behind that. One is many exporters don't have a digital presence. So with this initiative, they are able to create their own digital presence. The second reason why we are even asking people who already have their online stores or digital catalog is because of the consistency and uniformity of information. Otherwise, it will become a very complex uh, mess, a khichdi. Don't want to do that. We want to maintain a level of consistency and show the information to international buyer in a very professional manner. So that's where anyone who is interested to join the Indian Business Portal, you have to create your online store on the platform. Mr. Mani Kumar, I think you keep repeating the question. So, Manish Kumar ji, the recording of this webinar will be emailed to you once the webinar gets over. It is currently getting live streamed, so I'll not be able to share with you the link right away. It will be emailed to you. So, the email ID which you have used to join today's webinar, it will be emailed to you. Don't worry on that. Next question, anonymous certainty. Can you endorse the other company's product as a channel partner if the other company does not have a issue? So you can get an NOC letter from them and you can start showcasing. Next question is from Wilfred R. Is IC code mandatory? Yes, IC is the only thing which is mandatory because unless you have an IC code, you can't do export. So that's where it is mandatory. Next question from Shrikant. This is related to solar projects. You should start showcasing. There are a lot of sellers of solar products already on the platform. You should also join the platform immediately or as quickly as possible and start showcasing your products and services. Next question is Wilfred from about management consulting. Yes, certainly you can also showcase management consulting services here. Now, this is where I will have to, in next 2 minutes, we'll have to take a hard stop because I have another session starting in a few minutes. So this is where which all questions we can answer. We'll try to do that. And then if there is anything which is left unanswered, I'll request you drop me an email and I'll answer it personally for you. So next question which I'm reading is from Rajan. Yeah, what is summary and description? So summary and description are two places of the description. One is called summary. Is this where you have to summarize your product? The second place is description. So that's where additional information can be displayed. How attach your own domain. So there's a entire process around linking your own domain. You can do it yourself. It is a very simple 5-step process. But in case you are getting stuck, do feel free to reach out to us. One of our colleagues will connect with you and they will guide you through this process. It will hardly take you like 10 minutes to do that. Next question from Mr. Sandeep Nair. Sandeep ji, I have shared the link. I'll share the link once again. So I'll request, I'm in fact sharing it with you on a personal chat. So I would request just submit your query and one of our onboarding specialists will connect with you. They'll help you understand about the commercials. So this is where I think we are running short of the time. So this is where I am or we should close the session. We have overshot our session almost by 30 minutes. So before I am closing the session, I will very quickly reshare the links which I have shared earlier. So there were 3 videos of which I have shared the link. These are the tutorial videos which will guide you in creating your online store to join the session. So that is something that I have shared. Now the second one was related to the webinar which I shared, which can help you in using AI tools to create your digital catalog, your online store. So that is something which I've just now added in the chat. And the last is the link on which you can submit your request in case you are interested in availing our services in setting up your digital catalog. That is the last link which I've shared. So this is where we will conclude the session. Unfortunately, we have overshot. I can see there are still questions unanswered, but we have overshot our time and I have to start another webinar shortly. So this is where we'll conclude the session for today. You already have my email ID, and in fact, you don't have that. So I'll share that once again very quickly in the chat. So you can drop me an email if there is anything which is not clear or I didn't had a chance to answer that. So I'll try to answer that personally. So this is where we'll conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for taking our time and participating in the session. I hope you found this session informative and I'm looking forward to connecting with you again in the next webinar. But bye-bye from our side for now. Thank you again for taking our time and